Good morning, students. In my last audio, so you learned something about one of the first vascular terrestrial plant called as pteridophytes, isn't it? So the next group of plants, the two during the course of evolution, after that first vascular plants, these plants also that develop the primitive vascular elements, the two along with the pteridophytes, and these plants can withstand extreme temperatures that are called as gymnosperms. The next group of plants are called as gymnosperms. Why these plants are called as gymno? Gymno means naked. Sperma means seed. Why these are called as gymnosperms? Because of the naked seeded condition. Now, what are the general features of these? Gymnosperm plants that completely lack, that means these not having the ovary and the fruit. Absence of ovary and fruit. There is complete absence of what? Ovary and the fruit. Second, these plants where the seed is not enveloped by the fruit wall. What is absent here? Complete absence of the fruit wall, no ovary wall. Therefore, the seed is exposed. It is not protected by any fruit wall. Therefore, these plants are commonly called as naked seeded plants. Naked seeded plants are called as gymnosperms, where the seed is not enveloped by the fruit wall. Here, the seed that is after fertilization, that is post fertilization, as well as before fertilization, that seed is naked. The seed is not naked before and after fertilization. That is during the pre-fertilization as well as post-fertilization condition also. That seed is not enveloped by any protective wall of its own. That is no ovary wall or a fruit wall, and therefore that becomes naked. The seed is naked even before as well as after fertilization. That is one of the important feature of what? Gymnosperms. Now, so where that usually inhabit? Generally, these grow in what? The more temperature as well as humid zones. Temperature and humid zones. These present in more temperature as well as humid zones. And generally, these plants that having taproot. These gymnosperms that having what root? Taproot. That is, taproot means the main primary root or a mother root develops from the radical, then that produces secondary, tertiary or a daughter roots, and that is called as taproot. Here the root is what? Taproot. So some gymnosperms, these roots are associated with the fungi for the absorption of certain minerals, that is called as mycorrhiza. Mycorrhizal association. Mycorrhizal association in case of pinus. In which plant? Mycorrhizal association in pinus plant. Pinus is a conifer. And in case of cycas, that is called as palm fern. In these cycas plants, the roots associated with a blue-green algae called as nostoc or anabina, generally nostoc. The roots of cycas associated with a blue-green algae called as nostoc. And these blue-green algae that colonizes in the cortex of the secondary roots of the cycas, and that roots more or less appear like coral reefs, which are the secretions of coelenterates. Hence these roots are called as coralloid roots, associated with nostoc to form coralloid roots. This is very important question for CET as well as for NEET. So coralloid roots are the characteristic feature of cycas that shows a symbiotic association. What is symbiotic association? That is nothing but interaction of the two organisms for the positive interaction. That is the positive interaction between the two organisms which depend on each other. These roots provide mainly shelter, and that algae, blue-green algae, that provide nitrogen to this plant. That is called as symbiotic association to form coralloid roots. So in that way, there is an association either in mycorrhizal association or coralloid root. Root is what root? Taproot. Then the stem of these plants is very hard. Stem is stout, woody and hard. Stem is hard with resin. Some gymnosperms that have a resin ducts. Stem is hard with resin, stout, unbranched in cycas and branched in pinus and citrus. So in several gymnosperms it is branched, but in case of cycas the stem is unbranched. Then the leaves. Leaves are simple or it may be compound. We can observe both the type of the leaves. Either it may be a simple leaf or a compound. What is simple leaf? Simple leaf means it is the leaf only one leaf blade. That means only one leaf per petiole, where the leaf blade is not dissected into units. Whenever it is dissected into units, that become compound. Here the leaves may be simple or compound, and it is pinnately compound innately compound in case of cycas, and there is what leaves that can withstand extreme temperature, humid condition as well as resist to the wind. The leaves can withstand what? Extreme temperature, humidity and wind. This is the unique feature of gymnosperm, that leaves can withstand extreme range of temperature. It may be very cold or it may be too hot, or the humidity as well as wind. Especially in case of conifers, where the leaf is needle-like. The leaf in case of conifers is called as needle. It is just narrow like a needle. Needle conifers, needle, that is leaf is nothing but needle. This reduce the surface area. This reduce what? Surface area of the plant. And generally in case of cycas, the leaves, pinnately compound leaf that retain for many years, because that having what? The resistancy to withstand extreme temperatures, humidity as well as wind. Now in cycas, the leaf can persist for many years, and all the gymnosperm leaves that having sunken stomata and cuticle, that having what? Sunken means the stomata, minute pores meant for transpiration that are inserted, that is called as sunken stomata, and cuticle that prevent the loss of water from the plant body. That means which prevents what? The transpiration. That is a unique nature of what? This gymnosperm leaves. So here the leaves can withstand extreme temperature, humidity and wind. So that too in case of conifers, the leaves are called as needle, which can reduce the surface area of the plant. Especially in case of cycas, the leaf persists for many years, and all the gymnosperm leaves that having a sunken stomata as well as cuticle that can prevent the rate of transpiration. Now, after these leaves, now these gymnosperms generally heterosporous. Gymnosperms are what? Gymnosperms are heterosporous. What is the meaning of heterosporous? In pteridophytes, I explained this concept. Homosporous condition means the production of similar type of spores, where we cannot differentiate a microspore as well as megaspore. Here, what gymnosperms are always what? Heterosporous. That means gymnosperms are heterosporous, means it produces two types of spores. How many types? Two types of spores. One is called as microspore and another one is called as megaspore. So because of the presence of two dissimilar type of spores, that condition is called as heterospory. So here this produces both the type of spores, microspores as well as megaspores. And these spores, it may be a microspore or megaspores that are produced by the sporangia. Microspores and megaspores produced by the sporangia. Microspores produced by microsporangia, megaspore produced by the megasporangia. And these microsporangia, that is microsporangia and megasporangia, generally we can say sporangia. What are sporangia? Sporangia are the spore producing structures. Now these sporangia are always born on a leaf-like structure called as sporophyll. What are sporophyll? Phylla is leaf. Sporophyll. Sporangia are born on the leaf-like structure called as sporophylls. So sporangia born on the leaf-like appendage called sporophyll. Now, so these sporophyll, microsporophyll means microsporangia which born on a leaf-like appendage called as microsporophyll, and megasporangia which born on a leaf-like appendage called as megasporophyll. These sporophyll, generally we say, sporophylls which are aggregated to form a compact structure called as lax, or it may be strobilite or called as cones. Sporophylls aggregated to form a compact structure called lax or strobilite or cones. So where these are formed, sporophylls aggregated to form a compact structure called lax or strobilite or a cones. So these sporophylls arranged on a long axis, arranged on the axis, that too these sporophylls that arranged spirally on the axis to form a lax or a strobilite or a cone. Now, male cones means that having which sporophylls? Microsporophylls. Microsporophyll containing what? Microsporangia. Microsporangia produces what? Microspores. Then female strobilite means female cones that having spirally arranged megasporophylls. Megasporophyll contain what? Megasporangium. So here the male cone that having what? Microsporophyll, and female cone that having what? Megasporophyll. Now, these male cones or female cones that may born by the same parent, or it may be present on the different plants. If these two, male and female cones, present in the same plant, for example in case of pinus, we can observe both the male and the female cones in the same plant. This is called as monoecious. monoecious because that having both the male and the female coats. But in case of cycas, what happens? The male core present in male plant. The male plant that having male core, that is called as what? Male plant. Male core in a male plant and female core in a female plant. That means these plants are what? Dioecious. Dioecious as in case of cycas and monoecious as in case of where? Pinus. So then I am going to explain the structure of that what microspore and megaspore. Generally in gymnosperm, these what microspores that form the male gamete and that too which produces highly reduced what a pollen grain that having only few cells. So I will explain that in the next class.